Howdy folks, and welcome to my remake of the original Twilight Zone's most controversial episode ever, The Encounter. I made this in the early to mid 2000s with my friend Dave Realgems and my brother Jack. And just to put it out there, we made this on no budget. So I was not able to get a real Japanese American to play the George Takei character of Author Takamori. So my friend Dave, who's a big white guy, plays George Takei's character, or Takei. I'm probably saying his name wrong. So why remake this episode and not another one? Well, again, no budget. This episode takes place entirely in an attic with two actors. And at the time, I was living at home, and my parents' attic looked almost exactly like the one in the episode. So I'm sorry ahead of time. It was never meant to offend anyone, or even be seen by anyone. And I'm sure the original one wasn't either. So here it is anyway. Our remake of the Twilight Zone's The Encounter. I play Rod Serling, and I didn't have long hair yet. It was that long ago. As for my brother Jack, although not a great actor, he certainly looks the part a lot more than my friend Dave looks like George Takei, or Kai. So he's able to pull it off just enough. So try to enjoy it. With an open mind, I guess. I was in my late 20s at the time.
You also play that We Are Siamese song from Lady in a Tramp. So there's that. Maybe you'll get a copyright claim.
Well, thanks for that, Crispin. And a few years after we remade this episode, we also remade A Nervous Man in the $4 Room and The Jeopardy Room. Now, A Nervous Man in the $4 Room, if you're interested, is available on Dave Realgems' channel, so feel free to check that out. Hopefully one of us will get The Jeopardy Room posted soon, too. So enjoy. Why'd you have to go and say that, Crispin? What, the Siamese, if we please song?
So, chain reaction. You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah? Anybody home?
Yeah!
Mr. Fenton?
Yeah, that's right.
Mrs. Gross from across the street told me to come over. She said you needed help with taking care of your lawn. I knocked but nobody answered. Radio, so I...
Yeah, that's right. Come on up.
If it's just the front you want, I can do it for, say, $7 a month.
Oh!
Great, well, thanks a lot, Mr. Fenton. So long.
Hey, come on up. I'll go beers on it.
No. Thanks just the same.
No, I mean it. How about it? I got plenty on ice. Besides, you can make a small fortune having moved some of the stuff up here. How about it?
Well, 10 minutes.
What'd you say your name was, boy?
Arthur Takamori.
Arthur!
That's right.
Well, that's funny.
What is?
Well, why Arthur?
Why not? I was born in this country.
No, I didn't mean anything by it.
I'm just as American as anybody.
Who says you're not? Too darn sensitive.
I guess I am. The truth is, my name is Taro. I changed it.
Rose the rose, know what I mean?
No.
Take a look around your stuff. I've been here 20 years. I haven't seen some of this stuff since the war. Oh, bummer. Now, look at this, would you? Can you imagine I fit into this?
Sure, why not?
Hey, you're just being polite. I'm a tough as shit right now, but I was spry one time. I went through all through Taipan and Okinawa. Call me fucking crazy. Check this out. You ever seen one of these?
Yeah?
Genuine samurai sword. Not a fake like the ones you see a lot. Took it off a Japanese officer. That Jap officer took a cut off my noggin with it. Took it off him. Has something engraved in it. Maybe you translate.
Sorry, I can't speak any language but English.
Hmm.
My mother spoke Japanese. For me, I never learned. You said you wanted help cleaning up some of this junk?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, my first thing kind of dusty. You gotta get a couple beers. You throw one down on the floor, take a seat, and I'll be back up. Started.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Why?
Two men alone in an attic. The young Japanese American, the seasoned veteran of yesterday's war.
It's 28 years since Pearl Harbor, but two ancient opponents are moving into a position for battle. In an attic containing skeletons, souvenirs, mementos, old uniforms, and rusted medals. Ghosts from the dim reaches of the past that will lead us into the Twilight Zone.
That's a cold. Partial beer, Taro?
The name is Arthur.
Ah, yeah. I forgot. Just you don't look like an Arthur to me.
Well, you don't exactly look like a soldier either.
Got me there, boy.
And another thing, Mr. Fenton, I get bugged by boy. Europeans are always calling natives boy. Boy about the white man's burden. Well, I answer to Arthur Takamori, and believe it or not, sometimes Mr. Takamori. I work for a living, Mr. Fenton.
Oh, boy. Now you're all wound up. You do this every time a guy offers you a beer. Now here, take it.
I'm sorry. I guess I just got a headache from all the sun.
Ah, forget it. War's over. Just forget it. But don't you forget that there ain't a service band that fought the Japanese in the Pacific that don't respect the Japanese. They fought like tigers. It was rare you take one without killing them. Banzai!
Okay. Banzai.
Say, where did I leave that pig sticker?
What?
You know, the sword.
I don't know. Did you just leave it on this table?
Well, that's where I thought I left it. That thing gives me Billy's. Funny. I'm trying to lose that thing for years. Funny if I lost it now. Should have left it. You know what I mean? Instead of picking it up. It's a souvenir. All my life, I tried to give it away, sell it, hawk it. He's coming back. Nothing supernatural. I don't believe in that. When you try to give it away, throw it away, and a garbage man brings it in from the curb, you gotta start thinking then. Say, you wouldn't like to have it, would you?
No. What would I do with it?
Give it back to me, of course. Point first.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ha! I was just kidding. Don't let it bother you. I don't blame you for not wanting that back. It's a pretty ugly thing, especially when what's engraved on the blade. Sure, I know what it says. Yeah, I had one of our interpreters make sentences for me after I got it. It says, "The sword will avenge me." Isn't that right, Arthur?
I wouldn't know, Mr. Fenton. I work for a living, and I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Listen, Taro! What's all this stuff about working for a living? I mentioned that twice. Don't you think I work for a living?
I didn't say.
I've been working for a living ever since I was a kid. And a job a lot tougher than mowing lawns, I'll tell you that. Perhaps last week, when I got laid off, I drove a cat. You know what that is, Arthur? Well, I'll tell you this. It ain't no sports car. It's a big earth mover. You ever move the earth, Arthur? Of course not. You just manicure it.
I have to get going.
Oh, what's the rush? Sit down and drink your beer. Just tell me where you hid the sword.
Where I hid what?
Bury it somewhere to get it out of the way.
You're crazy.
Look, I left the sword right there on that table. I remember it distinctively. Listen, Taro. Excuse me, Arthur. Are you by any chance afraid of me?
What should I be?
Well, I can think of a couple of reasons. One being my background. I was on a fighting line. You know what that means? Well, it's not like a recruitment post, I can tell you that. Nice clean cut Latin, helps old ladies across the street. He has to be a highly trained combat machine with split-second reactions in place of emotion. He's on wires, he's on his toes, his nerve endings are dead. He's as cold, as hard, as rigid as helmet. In fact, there's nothing more terrible to me in the dark than a fighting man. When M1, a Thompson, a grenade, or even his bare hand.
Over here. Come on, let's die here.
Dirty sons of bitches. Just way out in the jungle, asking for it. And so I saw it obliged. Just circle up behind them. Simple exercise for someone with more looks than brains. Wait a minute. I was just telling you how it was.
I'm sorry. Don't look it into me. You really don't.
For a minute there, I thought you were gonna... you use that sword like you were mowing a lawn.
You didn't get that sword the way you said you did.
Oh?
No. You took it from that officer and you killed him after he surrendered.
You're crazy.
No. That officer dropped his sword and surrendered. You killed him in cold blood.
So what if I did? So what if I did?
I don't know. That's your problem. I don't feel well. I gotta get out of here. Mr. Fenton, your door's locked.
You must be weak. Pull on it!
It won't move. Did you lock it?
Now, how can I do a thing like that? It hasn't got a lock. Here, let me try. Well, looks like you're not supposed to leave quite yet.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I don't know what I mean. I don't know what's making it stick. Never done that before. But never mind, boy. There must be some tools up here. Look around. Forget the window. We'll take the door off at the hinges. Window's too high. Can always break a pane of glass and yell for help, but we'll save that for that. See if we can find a screwdriver. Well, look at the boy. Having a samurai? Well, forget it, boy. You couldn't make it. You try coming me that thing again, I'll chop you with a hamburger.
I don't like that kind of talk, Mr. Fenton.
No?
Yeah, I got a short fuse, so don't strike matches. I grew up in Honolulu. I was at Pearl Harbor when it was bombed.
What? Were you one of the pilots?
I was 4 years old. My mother and father lived in Hawaii all their lives. My father worked for the Army as a civilian.
Oh, yeah? Doing what?
He helped build the docks at Pearl. He was a construction foreman at one of the construction gangs. He was a war hero. He was there on the docks when they came that Sunday morning. He was there when the first wave of bombers came overhead. He was there when they started dropping bombs, and I was standing on the hillside with my mother was there. She held my hand, trying to make me walk back inside. And I stood. I looked up in the sky and I saw them. Down on the docks, my father was yelling at the sailors, trying to tell them what was happening. And the bombers came anyway, and I could hear them. Boom, boom, boom! My father was there, and as the bombs exploded, and the smoke was flying, and I saw my mother crying, my father was yelling at the man, yelling at the fireman, boom, boom, boom! And the planes, they circled overhead, and their bombs dropped. Shit! I knew it! Shit! not the way it happened. He was a traitor. He signaled the planes. He showed them where to drop the bombs. He was a traitor. My old man was a traitor. Get out of here. You're gonna get out of here.
Arthur! Arthur! Now you better sit down and have a fresh beer. You need it. Arthur, it's stupid. You come up here, sit down and have a fresh beer. You know, you get him on my lawn, I ask you up because, you know, like I must admit, I was kind of lonely. My old lady's got a stick up her ass. She got PO'd last night. Went over to her sister's. She'll be back. Guess I drink too much. No, Arthur, for a Jappo, you're a pretty nice Joe. I knew that when I first saw you. That's why I invited you for a beer. So I can tell you, it's been pretty rough, man to man. So they canned me from my job, put somebody else on the cat, just because I had a few drinks the other day. Wasn't the booze, though. That's just an excuse. It's all the cheap labor they bring in over here. Yeah, I tell you, they're letting them in from everywhere. Mexico, Puerto Rico, China, Japan, everywhere. We make Hawaii a state, and look what we get. I'm getting off the subject. My wife, like I said, she went to stay over with my sisters. She said she was all washed up with me. Can you make sense of that? That's gratitude for you. She'll be back. She knows which side her bridge put it on. Man, if she doesn't, who needs her? Who needs her? Man can make it alone, huh, Arthur? I mean, woman or a dime a dozen. Anyone who's been to a Japanese whorehouse knows that. What's the matter, Arthur? What do you want me to call you Taro now? Okay, kid, just because your old man was a backstabbed weasel doesn't mean you are. I mean, what the flip-flop? You don't have to go changing your name and all and forgetting to speak Japaneso. There were sneaks and double crosses on both sides.
Like you.
Wait a minute, buddy.
You're no better. You killed a defenseless man. You're a murderer.
Now wait a minute. What happened on Okinawa? You can't blame it on me. We were told not to take prisoners. That's right. No prisoners, they said. Well, then I can't hold them responsible for obeying orders, can you? Now in the Pacific, they told us that you guys weren't even human. Some species of an ape. And not to worry about burning you out of the caves. Now all of a sudden you're fine people, highly cultured. And it's propaganda about your fine transistor radios. Now put that sword down, Arthur. Let's have a beer together. I don't like to drink alone. Arthur! Didn't I tell you, Arthur, I'm all alone? My wife up and left me. I called the foreman on the job yesterday. He hung up the phone. I'm not such a bad guy, Arthur. Why is this happening? Why? Alright, don't answer. If that's what you're here for, kill me. Go on. I dare you. Come on, Taro. I'm waiting for you. Alright. You're just trying to scare me. Okay, then. I'm scared. But not of dying. Of living. I can't stand it, Taro, or whatever your name is. There's nothing left. Got a box full of decorations over there. Decorations. First you're an ape. All of a sudden now you're some highly cultured people. I've been pushed and pulled every way. So that I hate everybody, you dirty little Jap.
Two men in an attic, locked in mortal embrace, their common bond and their common enemy, guilt. A disease all too prevalent among men both in and out of the Twilight Zone.
Robot House!